cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Okay, this is me being very, very annoyed with devices and all the good stuff. Like, okay, let me kill that before it gets really, really obnoxious. I know. Sorry. I was messing around and I found out that I could actually monitor myself and then go on and make things happen. I don't know why this thing's being really sketchy in terms of bandwidth and what have you. But it is what it is. Okay. I was trying to do something, and then the camera kind of got sketch and kind of crashed out and got weird. And even now the system's being kind of really strange. So I don't know what's going on in terms of bandwidth or something, or if the upload is being weirded out or what's going on. But it seems that hopefully things are working correctly and stuff like that. So let me take a real quick snoop here, see if there's something that isn't running that doesn't need to be playing. Going to my processes real fast here. Sometimes the technology being what it is, you got to go through their bonjour service goes bye-bye. All that Apple stuff is just trying to run. So annoying. That needs to work. All the other stuff needs to work. Okay, I think we're kind of on par with things working semi correctly. At least things aren't now sketching out anymore. Barry K. Sean, appreciate you coming in the room, dude. Sorry about that one. Everything was kind of getting glitchy, and the camera was trying to do things. I was trying to make it stop, hitting end task, and it was just going, nah, don't feel like doing it. I'm just gonna keep going, and you can just take that and move on about yourself, because I'm not going to stop running. So anyway, I had to basically take it around and give it a little bit of, just more than a little bit. Just, yeah. Yeah, yes. Yeah, just. Yeah, it just needed to get, fatality. Well, no, sound guy. No, I just needed to reboot it, okay? I needed to reboot the computer. Okay, anyway, I see Patriot Fever is not in the room, so could be said that maybe the wife is now cranking out Patriot Fever 4. So that could be the way what's going on now, which we're dealing with her cranking out kid number 4. Don't start that stuff again, okay? It just don't. Yeah. Sound guy, no. Mrs. Patriot Fever will have the child, and it'll be completely normal, nothing crazy. He's back again, folks. All right, so let me go on to the news here, and you know what? First, let's have a little bit of a musical interlude here. Sound guy was he was hanging out in a bar. And when sound guy hangs out in the bar, no good can come from it, because it's going to turn into, he's definitely going to be imbibing upon too much of the adult stuff. And fuck you. Sound guy, watch that Terminator one, okay? Just don't do that, okay? Wait. Sound guy being what he is, No, sound guy. No. I happen to have sound files of sound guy performing. Okay, and we were more than 5 minutes in, so the F-bomb dropping was not a problem. But I didn't say it. Sound guy did. Anyway, so sound guy basically went out and did drunk karaoke. And I cannot begin to tell you just how humorous I thought it was, but he completely ruined a song that is absolutely ridiculously high falsetto. And that's sound guy to begin with. Sound guy sings on a register that like dogs hear. Sorry, basically what's going on here is he decided to take on that 1970s. Is it 70s? Hang on a second. Let me find that one. I'm going to make myself official here and see which one's which. Keep myself official here. We're talking a song that came out. So it is 70. Okay, 1979, but it is a song done by him. And Pedro Fever, appreciate you coming by. But sound guy decided he was going to get on there and drunk karaoke. So I give you sound guy doing 1979's classic Bee Gees Tragedy. Right on time was the I don't know. I think he was drinking like those frilly, foofy, girly drinks, and they just don't agree with him because he starts pounding those things down, and the next thing you know, where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? There's a bathroom. Where's the bathroom? There's got to be a bathroom. I'm in trouble here. I need a bathroom because I'm going to. Yeah, so him ruining the Bee Gees. Dude, the anticipation that you were doing for like the phrasing of the song, oh my stars and garters, blah 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 blah. No, dude, no. That was just
Oh my.
yeah, not good. Not good. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, we now have some really, really interesting news again coming out of Florida. That's right. We're talking about Ron DeSantis has done yet again another swipe at the formerly entrenched leftist socialist modicum of basic New York style of communism imported into Florida. But now he's just signed something else that's given parents more choice. He's just signed groundbreaking legislation that said there is now a universal school choice in Florida. I applaud you, sir. I applaud you. That is phenomenally amazing that you do these things. And are you done? Okay. Anyway, so now there's now school choice. And I got to put this in here and simply say what I said on Facebook. Why is it I see Ron DeSantis doing those things the RNC promises but never does, and Florida is a vanguard for great social causes and ideas? School choice. Thumbs up. I don't think I'm certain about this one or not, but this is amazing. And I do mean E, not I mean E. Amazing. Well, okay. Amazing, right? Just Disney's having its last gasps. But anyway, so now coming in from PJ's newsletter. So PJ newsletter. Disney is jacked. And this is putting it mildly. They are jacked. Quote, when companies go woke, they quickly go broke, but nobody expected the biggest, most beloved studio to turn on Americans. Well, that's what's happened. When Disney came out pushing radical leftist ideas, the company regretted it when it lost billions in recent years. They had to fire the CEO and bring back Bob Iger, who had the unlikely job of fixing Disney. Well, Bob Iger is also the guy that kind of steered him down that path of going woke, inserting all the grooming kind of creepy kid stuff that they've been doing for a while. Yeah. Well, anyway, so from Breitbart, the woke corporation Disney has begun layoffs, focus across television production and acquisitions of the company's free fall as the marketplace continues. Okay, well, put it in perspective. Disney television is just how can you say it without saying it, but to just simply say it's nothing short of just yeah, it's just gorge rising. Really just basically horrifically bad entertainment options, shall we say. Ugh.
Oh my.
Yeah. Notable among the staffers let go on Monday are Jane Biber, Senior Vice Production of Freeform Unix Collective, Mark Levinstein, Head of Production and Pros Production of Hulu, and Elizabeth Newman, Head of Disney's Acquisitions Department, noted the Hollywood Reporter, THR. Wow, Disney top executives got the axe, many of the divisions being cut to ribbons or have been dissolved entirely. Okay, well, maybe what this is the Disney Corporation is doing things that the federal government should be doing things. You have those hanger-on, do-nothing kind of just around for the occasion type of agencies, divisions, and redundant type of more tax dollars on top of more tax dollars being kind of like sheltered on top of more tax dollars for more expenditure just to prove out that they have the expenditure, justifying the fact that they have expenditure so they get a bigger budget in the next year. They spend every single dollar that they have. Gator Red, appreciate you coming by, dude. It fits who's in the White House. Wow. So many while Disney top executives got the axe, division being cut to ribbons, blah, 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 blah. Disney's eliminating the entire metaverse division as part of its impending mass layoffs, destined to impact as many as 7,000 employees. The metaverse team, per Wall Street Journal, was tasked with, quote, finding ways to tell interactive stories in new technology formats using Disney's extensive library of intellectual property. Gee, I wonder if they would ever actually put on the Jungle Book. No, they would not put on the Jungle Book. So sorry, Song of the South. I picked the wrong one. Well, it could be the Jungle Book too. Is that there's now like the revised version of the Jungle Book. No, we're talking Song of the South. We have Uncle Remus and now I can talk about it, okay? Uncle Remus and zippity doodah, zippity. No. Okay. Well, anyway, so looking at what Disney did is they took one hard look at that and they were like, "Oh no, it's not politically correct, so we better fix this."
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Which was messed up because they actually did have the songs playing on the the water roller coaster ride, call it what you will. They actually had the songs playing, even though the reference wasn't there. Well, that has been, yeah, that's gone. Oh, so you're saying the dog was licking the water and then decided to get rid of it by chewing on it. Okay, all right. Sometimes sound gets so literal sometimes. So anyway, scroll. Patriot Fever, a Disney Channel show leading with Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, I can see Slash now going, all right, kids, let me tell you all about like our Disney story for today. Yeah, right. Excuse me a sec. Slash isn't the same Slash he used to be because, well, he was self-destructive and he was about ready to just keel over. Let me switch gears here for a second. Let me tell you a little bit about our buddy, our friend, Mr. You know him, Mr. The name is. Oh, yeah, that fart at the end is very, very appropriate, actually. There is a hot mic translation Hot mic essentially means you're going into a situation and the microphone is on, and they don't seem to think about the fact that the microphone is on and listening. So anyway, there's a handler that's guiding Joe Biden around, going, "Okay, Mr. President, sir, go over here, sir, go over there. You go over there to the blue mark. Oh, blue mark is mine. Yeah, the blue mark is yours. These guys are this, that, and the other thing." And he's like explaining the situation, walking him out there, telling him to stand on the blue mark. I know that they're supposed to do kind of like facing things when you do, any kind of movie stuff or, stuff on the stage. If you can look on the stage, you can't see from the audience side because you're down low, but on the stage, there'll sometimes be taped marks and they'll say, when you say these lines, be sure you're hitting your marks. Well, that's exactly what they mean. They mean, when you're, well, this, that, and the other thing, Jane, and this, that, blah, 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 blah. She needs to be standing here and you need to be standing here. So you need to hit your marks at the time you're saying, well, Jane, I don't believe that you, this, that, and the other thing. You need to hit your mark. But for Joe Kaka, he walked out the door and was like, where am I now? I'm the creature from outer space. So anyway, they basically had to direct him to where he needed to be standing to do this proper style of political public encounter. I don't want to get into it too terribly much, but let's just say that former law professor, the guy's been involved with either in law or teaching law, Alan Dershowitz, has claimed that Alvin Bragg, in other words, the attorney general that's now found like 30 charges on Donald John Trump in New York City, could lose his law license. But the thing about it is obviously in New York, he doesn't have a thing to fear. However, he could be kind of like drug into court by Congress. Interesting on that one. So the Manhattan District Attorney goes ahead with the indicting former President Donald Trump and uses Michael Cohen's testimony to do so. The problem is Michael Cohen's testimony isn't worth the paper that it's written on. It isn't worth the steam off of a wino's whiz in an alleyway. It's bad juju from a very, very, moment of just revelation. Quote, it's unethical to put a witness on a stand. You know who is lying, and he has to know that Cohen will be lying. Or he tries the case without Cohen, which would be very difficult, or he does the right thing and drops the case. I don't see that happening. I think that they really think that they have something on Trump, even though the fact that, well, there's like a four-legged stool going on here. One, statute of limitations was 2 years and 5 years. We're now at 7 years. Two, he didn't do it. Three, Cohen lied his ass off about it to say that Trump was even involved in the first place. And Trump was so out of it that Cohen actually had to get a loan to be duplicitous. How did he get the loan? Well, he got a homeowner's line of credit to get a loan without his wife knowing about it, that he then gave to Stormy Daniels to be quiet. Number four, it's been pretty well stated that Trump didn't have thing what to do with Stormy Nasty Daniels to begin with. Let's just say that it was just not a case of Trump was like, oh, hi, Stormy. Yuck. There's nothing appealing about Stormy Daniels to even start with. Patriot Fever in the Room says CMT has now also gone woke. Oh, man. Oh, Patriot Fever in the Room also. I saw that the handler knew his way around an ice cream cone, didn't he? Wow. This guy, I don't trust as far as I can throw him, but this one coming in from the Blaze, Senator Mark Warner, Democrat from Virginia, blasted President Joe Biden on Sunday for stonewalling lawmakers about the extent of his classified documents scandal. At the end of the interview on CBS News, Face the Nation, or should we say, Deface the Nation, Moderator Margaret Brennan asked Warner, the chairman of the State Intelligence Committee, whether the Biden administration had been forthcoming with details about the Biden's improper retention of classified documents. Okay, it could be that he's, giving some shelter by saying, hey, man, what did you do with those things? Did you have anything to do with those things? And he's bringing it out there, so potentially it's out there. He's not doing anything about it. He's not doing a full investigation. And further, it seems to be the case of, potentially, if you did these things, you might be guilty of these things. Just, it's bad juju. And I did say pretty much in the whole indictment thing about, from DA Bragg, stick a fork in it. It's done. If he tries to pursue this, there's so many ways to just legally rip this thing to shreds, and it's not even going to be pretty. Patriot Fever, I thought it would slay the nation. I like to face the nation. Okay, well, it's Kaka the nation too, but Bravo Sierra, the nation. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, we really truly are now looking at just a total mess. This one coming in, I thought was very, very interesting. This is a new poll that's bad news for Joe Kaka. Yeah, shocking poll that surveyed Democrats showed President Joe Kaka will have a tough 2024 primary ahead of him. Only 2 in the 10 Democrats surveyed in the March poll support Kaka in 2024. Unlike former President Donald Trump, who had 46% Republican support in 2024, Biden has only 23%. The former First Lady Michelle Obama trails behind Biden with 16% of Democrats supporting her in the primary. She's followed behind by current Vice President Kamala Harris. You just heard her a second ago. 8%, and Senator Bernie Sanders, 7%. So apparently not everybody wants to be communist. Interesting. This one coming in from PatriotAlerts.com. Political polls at Political Polls on Twitter. So the 2024 National Democratic primary goes as follows. Biden, 23%. Michelle Obama, 16%. Kamala Harris. I just feel dirty even putting those words in my mouth. Kamala Harris, 8%. Bernie Sanders, 7%. But do a guy, but a guy is 6%. Hillary Clinton is 5%. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is 3%. Gavin Newsom is 3%. Beto, not Beto, or was it Thomas Francis O'Rourke, or whatever his name is not Beto. He's not Latino in the slightest. He's 3%. Elizabeth Warren is 2%. Booker is 2%. Klobuchar is 2%. And this is coming from McLaughlin and Associates. That's like, kind of like what are their just, brown nosing deluxe ones. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I really, truly don't like getting into school shootings and whatnot, but I will get into it for this one very simple aspect. They are going on and on and on about, the assault weapons this guy had. What is that? The assault weapons. Okay, he was carrying a Keltec S2000, of which I actually happen to have one. It is a pistol caliber carbine that you push down in the trigger guard and the whole thing folds in half. So it's a 17-inch long package, whatever you will face. It is a semi-automatic pistol caliber carbine. Translation: it shoots the same caliber of ammunition as a pistol, even though it is a quote-unquote carbine / rifle. I wouldn't really want to take that thing any further than about 150 yards at best. It's 9mm or 40 caliber. It is not an assault weapon. Secondly, he had a AR-15 pistol. Again, not an assault weapon, because it is not a select fire weapon. It is not utilized by the military as such in pistol format. That is basically something that people play with on the range, and they really don't hunt with it, simply because you're running around with maybe about an 11.5-inch barrel. 5.56, 223 wild, call it what you will, needs more tube. Okay? It needs more tube. 16 inches minimum. And you really don't hunt with 5.56 unless you're really just going for varmints. Most states actually declare it illegal to hunt deer with a 223/556. His pistol was a Smith & Wesson Shield single column, so an 8-shot 9mm 40 caliber, whatever it was, but it's a single column pistol, not an assault weapon. So all of these are not assault weapons. Now, if you looked at this guy's basic premise and all these things he said, in terms of the way he was dealing with things, he wanted to kick off, but he wanted to kick off spectacularly, so he committed suicide by cop. Okay? Call it what it is. This guy is not a hero. He's not like this trans warrior where everybody's like, oh, he's so brave for, taking the fight to the bad guys who happen to be straights and this and I don't even get into the trans here, trans there, all the rest of that fun stuff. I think dude was mentally disturbed from the outset, and that basically was his premise. Only problem is the fact he got a hold of the firearms legally, even though they say, well, if just one more law could fix things, we've saved any more lives. Dude, you got 25 to 30,000 gun laws on the books, and they don't work because bad guys are bad guys. Bad guys can get a gun as soon as they get out of the jail, making a few phone calls. They'll have a gun within a few hours. Guaranteed. And they'll have the choice of firearm that they want. Not like something they go to the gun store and go, yeah, that'd be great, but oh no, I have a 7-day waiting period. Does not have happen when you're a bad guy. You simply make a few phone calls, outlay some funds, or trade some goods of that, I will say, quote unquote, goods. So you basically have the barter system or cash, which are both untraceable. And obviously somebody has made a deal to get a GAT. Okay? That's the way things work in the real world. Bad guys don't go to gun stores, okay? Scrolly. I did find it funny. There's this one picture, and I kept posting it up on Facebook just to play with them. But it was a official signed statement of Stormy Daniels who admits the affair never happened and she was never paid hush money. Now, of course, Facebook is like, oh, missing content. Same information was checked by another post by independent fact checkers. So then what I did was I took that picture and I modified it in such a way. I cannot begin to tell you just how funny I had fun with it. But let's just say I drew a bunch of twig and berries on it, and for some reason, that passed. They didn't put the fact check on it. Wow. Just Facebook here sometimes really, truly annoying. This guy, and I've been telling you, do not trust rhinos. They are making this big shield about, oh, yeah, well, Kevin McCarthy, he's going to be the guy, he'll be under the gun, such a slim majority. He'll absolutely going to be sticking to the constitutional conservative side of things. He will never, ever turn quotas. He'll be completely on board, absolutely unflappable. Well, and as much as I hate to quote these butt bungs, but the NRA rated him an A+. And I had to go very New York there. They rated him an A+. So there's now a report coming in from Amaland.com says NRA A+ rated McCarthy is raising funds for a Giffords endorsed person by the name of Fitzpatrick. Didn't hear about that one, did you, folks? No. So Speaker Kevin McCarthy will hold a March 29th fundraiser for Representative Brian Fitzpatrick, Republican, Pennsylvania, the co-chair of the Problem Solvers Caucus and leading House GOP moderate. Tickets will be going for between $500 and $2,500. By way of reporting creds, the political news site claims if membership-based news community is founded by journalists and best-selling authors Jake Sherman and Ann Palmer and co-founded by veteran Hill reporter John Bresnahan. Punchbowl is a Secret Service nickname for the Capitol. Our credo is power, people, politics. Yeah, but the problem is this Kirkpatrick guy has received an F from the NRA. So that makes it fair to ask Kevin McCarthy, beneficiary A+ rating endorsement from the National Rifle Association Political Victory Fund, is reported going out his way to raise major bucks for someone who is undermining everything about the Second Amendment we're told he believes in. Quote, McCarthy is a staunch defender of the Second Amendment, will stand strong against Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi's radical gun control agenda, NRA gushes. Meanwhile, Fitzpatrick will stand strong for it. Remember what I keep telling you guys? Don't trust the Republicans. That's why. That's why. Because as soon as they get in power, they get very squishy. Now, here's another dirty little secret, and this one is really, truly annoying. To try to get somebody big name into office, and you're George Soros, even George Soros has to spend bank to get the guy in there. So he gets the guy in there. He spent bank to get the guy in there, and they're now in there doing whatever little bit that they possibly can. So you've got 400 plus people in the Congress, 100 people in the Senate. What's the one that potentially you get somebody in there and they can affect way more change socially and they cost a whole hell of a lot less? George Soros thought about it long and hard and figured it out. Yes, he did. He figured it out. He thought about it long and hard and said, okay, guys, how do I get somebody in here that really doesn't cost me a lot of money, but can do amazing amounts of social interaction changes and really tweak things up? And they said, we have an idea. And they did. So there's now a large group. I think it's like 70, believe it or not. There's 70 prosecutors that have been linked to left-wing billionaire George Soros. So what George Soros did was he said, hey, I'm going to romance this idea. How about if I don't go for representatives, but I go for guys who are really screwing with the judicial system in terms of being attorney generals and prosecutors. That's exactly what he did. So by getting those guys in there, they can fail to prosecute. Kind of like Bragg. Bragg will take a felony, knock it down to a misdemeanor, unless you're Donald John Trump. Then he'll take that misdemeanor and work it up to a felony. Slight problem. State attorney generals cannot bring federal charges on anybody. So that's where we are right now. Is that's the kind of games that Soros is playing. He's going to spend his money appropriately and smartly by simply getting the most bang for the buck that he can possibly get. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I did actually post up an email I got from these guys. And the only reason I am is because it's a single party state in my state. So I literally became a Democrat after becoming, one of 4 libertarians in Baltimore City. I became a Democrat just so I could screw with the primary process and the full election. So they sent me, because I'm obviously on the mailing list, they sent me an email. And this is just how duplicitous and disgusting the Democrats really, truly are. And it's just blatant. So they sent me an email. Click the link to put up billboards. They want money. Not anyway to support the injunction, but a cash-raising begogram to put up billboards. The email as follows. Finally, all big letters, apostrophe. After the crime spree lasting decades, Donald Trump has finally been indicted in a Manhattan grand jury on criminal charges related to his illegal hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. Okay, let me just break this down for 1 second here. It is not unusual for somebody to try to, play the cash game on a rich guy. Hey, man, I'm going to bring out this story. And even whether it's true or not, I'm just going to keep saying that you blah, blah, blah'd me. And I'm going to say it many, many, many times. And eventually the news media is going to get very, very interested. We'll just keep talking about it until such point in time that we actually go to court. And you're going to have to sue me for it. It's going to turn into a big mess. And blah, 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 blah. So most of the time the rich guys go, you know what? Here's the non-disclosure agreement. Here, sign the non-disclosure agreement. Here's a check. Take the money. F off. So that's usually what happens. They give them an NDA or non-disclosure agreement, and they give them a cash amount to say, shut it, don't do it, don't play with me again. And now that you've been paid off, and if you do it, you breach contract, and I will drag your ass into court, and you will lose bad. So anyway, this is the Democrat side of things. Congratulations to Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who was elected with 83% of the vote. That really says something about New York City right there. Despite vicious attacks and death threats, he's under police protection. There is no death threats on Alvin Bragg, please. Followed the law and did his job. No, he's not followed the law in many cases. He's basically made many bad guys just simply not get charged or walk. Yeah. Trump was the first president in U.S. history to be indicted. Trump's corrupt Republican allies are crying all over Fox News. Our hearts bleed for them. No, they're not crying all over Fox News. They're crying all over Fox News, OAN, and any place else that they can get some notoriety because you media hacks won't let them speak on your places. Trump's corrupt Republican allies crying all over news. As for politics, if Trump really believed this helps him politically, he would be celebrating. His blind fury betrays him. I really want to curse here. How the... hang on a second. I got this one, sound guy. I got this one. How the... Hang on. Let me find it before I really say something here I'm going to regret. How the... do you know how his fury is or how he feels, okay? I think that you have no idea how he feels. No idea at all. So we choose to celebrate this occasion by reminding Donald Trump that in this country, no one's above the law and justice will be served. You assholes really have a duplicitous means of describing justice versus like true justice and your own way of being duplicitous in those ways to hide the facts that you guys are a bunch of hack, crook, assholes. So let's line the highways with lock him up billboards, especially on roads where Trump himself will see them. Spend the money. Go ahead. Put up these billboards everywhere. And I guarantee you a few things going to happen to those billboards is you're going to start seeing people writing like Biden on them. I guarantee you that. Donald Trump was the most corrupt president in history. He needs to know the American people want him held accountable now. Will you help us send the message directly to Trump? Thanks for all you do. And then when you click on the link, it's a money-raising thing. Think about that long and hard. If they're really that hardcore about putting him in jail, why are they so worried about raising money? Yeah. It's such a grand exercise of, they have him exactly where they want him, and there's no way to even worry about it. Everything's great. Yeah, it's just it on its face. It's just disgusting. It's a money raising thing, and I just see it for what it is, and I'll call him out on him every time. This one I think is very, very, very interesting. Democrats are raising money, lock him up, and all the rest of that stuff. Well, there's a disturbing exodus taking place that's now rattling 3 blue states. Hundreds of thousands just fled from the largest Democrat cities. PJsNewsletter.com. Disturbing exodus, this, that, and the other thing. For a long time now, we've heard exodus is taking place in blue states. Numerous American citizens are fleeing Democrat-dominated cities and states for much greener pastures. This phenomenon has only increased during COVID, but you thought it would slow once blue states reopened. You were dreaming. In the years following COVID, Democrats defunded police, jacked up taxes, opened the border, ignored rising homelessness. Some blue areas are almost entirely unlivable, with shady towns crowding the streets and drug addicts stumbling into Starbucks bathrooms. And now we are seeing just how the same Americans fled for their lives. From Just the News, Los Angeles County posted the largest population decline in all the counties in the United States in 2022, falling by 90,704 and continuing a downward trend. Cook County, home to Chicago, lost 68,314 people from July 2021 to July last year. And in 10 counties in the United States, again, the most people are located in 3 states, Texas, Arizona, and Florida. The biggest losers were Los Angeles County, California, 90,704, Cook County, Illinois, 68,314, Queens County, New York, 50,112, Kings County, New York, 46,970, and Bronx County, New York, 41,143. People ain't dealing with this crap, folks. They're just saying, you know what? Let me think about this long and hard. I know. I'm going to go to greener pastures. So anyway, that's where we are right there with, basically people using their noodles and going, I'm not dealing with that stuff. Here's something I think is absolutely hilarious. Jumping back to the Trump thing yet again. the Democrat dum-dums forgot this little itty-bitty factoid. PJ's newsletter again. Democrats suddenly panic after the Trump arrest. They overlooked the constitutional fact that indictment won't stop him. Yeah. Only a liar would say this indictment of Donald Trump wasn't about the election. Democrats are terrified and thought Trump will return to office. They've impeached him twice, for crying out loud. They've launched numerous investigations against him, and despite what appears to be a lack of solid evidence, they took the insane step to indict a former president. Over what? Payments to a has-been actress who didn't, oh no. Payments to a has-been actress he didn't make. It's clear the left is doing this to prevent Trump from winning the election. But what happens if the person is indicted for the crime and even convicted? If, say, a radical judge decides to manipulate the trial, well, that's bad news for the left. This can't even stop Trump. From Just the News, despite the indictment, former President Donald Trump can continue his 2024 campaign for president and serve in office if he wins. A Manhattan grand jury voted on Thursday to indict Trump. The Constitution does not contain any provision barring someone who's ever been indicted or even convicted from becoming president. Oops. Ouch, despite all the left has done, despite all they took them to get here. Even if they convict Trump, he can still win the 2024 election and serve in office. The Constitution does not say anything about a convicted person from running for president or serving if elected. Obviously, the Democrats are hoping it doesn't get that far. Their agenda appears to be stir up enough dirt on Trump. So if he didn't even win the GOP primaries, and if he does, he's sure to lose in the general election if he's indicted and convicted of some crime. Democrats putting all their chips on the dishonest media and manipulative social media. They need the narrative to go their way. So regardless of how this forceful indictment goes, Americans will turn on Trump. Is that going to work? Hopefully not. Voters must decide for themselves who they want elected. But Democrats clearly are trying to interfere in the election by scaring some voters away from Trump. Okay, that's the A. The B to that story is they really haven't figured out the hard way, or the hardcore part of it about it is just you Democrat
I'm juggling thunder.
You got peacock juggling thunder meows haven't figured out that Bill Clinton gained in popularity the whole time that he was under investigation for the, well, it depends on what you mean by is, that whole thing going on. Yeah, he actually got more popular. And even then, the fundraising was unbelievable. Yeah, so like I said in the next news story, when Bill Clinton's sexual stuff was big news, his popularity increased, Trump's is now growing, and the fundraising is effing sick. PatriotJournal.com. Days after Donald Trump gets indicted, 3 major updates make Democrats regret it. This one posting up on the 3rd. You don't have to wonder why Democrats indicted Donald John Trump. Heck, they impeached him 3 times, accused him of being a Russian puppet, claimed he'd overthrown the government on January 6th. This latest indictment is just one of a long series of attempts by the political party to prevent one of their rivals from winning in an election. But it seems the Democrats don't realize the plan has already backfired. They're hoping Republicans will turn on Trump. Instead, this happened. From the Epoch Times, the indictment of Donald Trump, which appears to have identified the president's race within the Republican Party. Meanwhile, 5 Republicans seeking to outstep Trump for the party nomination for president have put aside political differences aside to condemn Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg for the indictment. It seems the Republican Party is unifying behind Trump. Even possible 2024 rivals have come out to condemn Attorney General Bragg's politicized indictment, but that's just for starters. In a startling new poll, ex-President Donald Trump has tripled his lead over Governor Ron DeSantis following Thursday's indictment news. Trump is leading DeSantis 57-31. A huge 26-point lead, which triples the previous result of the survey a mere 2 weeks ago. At that time, Trump was ahead of DeSantis just 8%, 47% to 29%. Do you really think Democrats want Trump surging in the polls? They don't want him anywhere near a 2024 ballot. But soon after support numbers grew, so did the contributions. They forget when you play these games. In the first 24 hours after the indictment, which the Trump campaign website characterized as, quote, a blatant interference in the 2024 election against a leading Republican presidential candidate, end quote, over $4 million in donations rolled in. Within the first day of Bragg's indictment announcement, Trump brought in a staggering $4 million in donations. Democrats couldn't help Trump more if they tried. And the left thinks just Republicans rally behind Trump. They are crazy. Some suggested that the Democrats want Trump to get the GOP nomination. They think Republicans will support Trump after the indictment, but not liberals or independents. Problem with that theory? It's not proving true. Trump is seeing a surge in donations, and I can promise this isn't merely from GOP members. Every American is suffering under Joe Biden's failed leadership, and you'd have to be a dishonest goon not to think this indictment was a shocking attempt at election interference. Excuse me 1 second here. We can assume independents and even some liberals are outraged over this and are backing Trump. Democrats try to interfere in our elections, and it seems they are only helping. Key takeaways. Republicans are unifying behind Trump and the DA's indictment. Even 2024 rivals are condemning the political move by the liberal DA. Trump's support in the recent GOP polls has surged after the indictment. Within 24 hours of the news, he raised $4 million across the country. Yeah. Sometimes you play these games, and it just doesn't quite work. Democrat dumbasses. This is another DeSantis story. You know what? He's a young guy. He's actually younger. If Trump runs and only runs for one more term, okay, he's not going to be a young guy. He's going to be towing 90 almost. But if he runs for one more term, 4 more years, if DeSantis runs at that point, he's still younger than JFK when JFK was elected for the first term. So it's a young man's game. DeSantis doesn't need to jump all up and down going, oh, I got to run right now, this and the other thing. Besides, the other thing, too, is he's done amazing stuff in Florida. He might not want to leave Florida. Excuse me 1 second here. This one coming in from RepublicanDaily.com. With the passage of legislation stripping Disney of the self-governing status came in the last-minute underhand attempt by the multinational corporation to undermine the changes. Yeah, remember they were losing the management company that they basically had, and they basically had like the whole thing running all to themselves. Well, they tried to play, how do I say this without saying this? Okay, they tried to play P-Ussy. Yeah, they tried to play P-Ussy, and they got, they tried to play P-Ussy and got ucked. With passage of legislation stripping Disney of self-governing status came less minute on an attempt by the national company to undermine the changes. Undermine. From the previous board that was ushered out and replaced with a new state-appointed one, it moved to give Disney broad power to further develop land on the outskirts of the counties it resides in. This essentially preserves some of the self-governing power that the legislation had sought to end. So they were being a little nice about it. They're like, you guys really just completely screwed it up, and we were just going to give it a hard one. But no, Disney played games. That left the mainstream press overjoyed. Get a load of this opening line from NBC News. Forget about Disney princesses. Mickey Mouse may have just proved to be the real king of Florida. While Disney remained quiet on the matter for months, it seems the House of Mouse has been hatching a plan to retain control over the land with the outer limits of Orange and Osceola counties. So outskirt areas around like Disney proper. Disney is like 29,000 acres. It is blanking huge. Okay, there's no other way to say it other than it is just
Death! By snoo-snoo!
It is no, it is not.
Snoo-snoo!
No, it's not snoo sound guy. It's huge. Okay, it's a huge piece of property. Walt set the thing up. He really did a good job on the time. So anyway, on February 8th, the day before the Florida House voted to put DeSantis in charge, the previous Disney Allied Board signed a long-lasting development agreement that drastically limits the control that can be exercised over the company and its district. So essentially, Disney was like, we're going to give you only one slight problem. Disney really messed up. As part of the 30-year development agreement, Disney no longer needs board approval to build high-density projects of buildings fitting height, and it can sell or assign development rights. It can also ban the board from using Disney name or any of its characters. Interesting. So Disney's political appointments, namely some of Donald Trump's paid influencers, lashed on the development, asserting that the Florida government had failed. To that I say, have they not been paying attention for the last 4 years? Have they just been being intentionally dishonest? To start, who won may support for 2024 presidential nominations rather irrelevant to discussing the issue. With that said, DeSantis built a long, successful track record of fighting and winning big fights. In many of the cases, i.e. the school mask mandate battle, he's had his setbacks. Sometimes he's had to go to court multiple times. In the end, he's almost always come out victorious. Right on cue, he's already formulated a plan of attack to strike back at Disney. Yeah, breaking Florida standard at FL Standard. Breaking. Governor Ron DeSantis orders investigation of potential civil and criminal violations of the previous Disney Board of Supervisors. The agreements of the previous RCID board attempted to shove through 11 hours are likely invalid. I think Ron DeSantis just said,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
okay, I'll allow that ding. That was kind of on point. DeSantis is accusing Disney of multiple legal violations and has directed the Inspector General to investigate and publish a report. From there, legal action will most certainly follow, and the Florida governor will be in on an extremely strong footing. I don't just mean in terms of legal theories either, though it appears to be sound. Florida Supreme Court now is overwhelmingly conservative, and this will be a state-level issue that likely ends up there. In the end, and in that case, the panel is very friendly to DeSantis, who will be deciding the case. Long story short, this war is nowhere near over, and I'll still be placing my money in the state of Florida to prevail. Anyone pretending that DeSantis was quote-unquote owned here is playing politics. Disney was always trying to use the old board to get its way before the new board came in. Now they have to defend possible violations of law in front of the GOP-friendly Florida court system. Good luck to them when they need it, because they're going to get more than just a little bit of it's not going to be good. Oh, you went for a double. Don and Daisy are going quackers at House O'Mouse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly, Pedro. That's exactly what I see. I see Trump basically running, potentially winning again, and DeSantis getting 2 terms. So that's 12 years of not exactly very, very Democrat type stuff. And I did see an interview with Trump I thought was very, very interesting, where they're going on about like, oh, the killer is this, that, and the other thing. And Trump's like, we've killed a lot of people too in this country. You can't exactly say we've done everything above board. Oh, yeah, but they were bad guys. It's like, yeah, but we've done some pretty nasty stuff too. I thought it was really hilarious that Trump was actually like, look, let's be intellectually honest here, okay? We haven't exactly been the good guy in every occasion here, okay? Don't even go there. Speaking of not the good guys, I cannot do this one justice. This one is just no. It is
Death.
yeah, there's no other way to say it, but Starbucks.
You're despicable.
Yeah, you guys are just yeah, you're killing the golden goose, as it were. So anyway, Starbucks, not exactly a very right-wing organization, shall we say, but let's just say that leftards love unions, but not in their place. Oh no, this one is classic hypocritical goodness, shall we say. Starbucks has now fired an employee who started a company union. Oops. Alexis Rizzo, who started the Starbucks Workers United Union campaign, was terminated by Starbucks a few days after the company's former CEO, Howard Schultz, testified on Capitol Hill about the coffee chain's alleged union busting. Rizzo, who worked as the shift supervisor at Starbucks for 7 years, was served as a union. Also served as union leader at Geneseo Street Store in Buffalo, New York, so upstate New York. One of the first 2 stores in the country to succeed in its union campaign. In a GoFundMe page for Rizzo, which has already raised over $10,000, the Starbucks Workers Union described as, quote, a retaliation at its worst. Lexi Rizzo was a 7-year shift supervisor at Starbucks who ignited the Starbucks Workers United movement when it took the country by storm. Lexi was a leader at the Geneseo Street store in Buffalo, one of the first 2 stores in the country to win their union campaign. 2 days after the former CEO Howard Schultz testified in front of Congress on his illegal union busting campaign, upper management came in to fire Lexi. This is retaliation at its worth. Please help support Lexi pay her bills. We fight for justice and her job back. In an interview with CNBC, Rizzo said that she was absolutely heartbroken. This wasn't just a job for me. It was like my family, Rizzo said. It was like losing everything. I've been there since I was like 17 years old, and it's like losing my entire sports system. I think that they knew that. After finishing her shift on Friday, Rizzo claimed that she was fired by the store managers who cited her lateness on 4 separate occasions, including 2 instances she was only a minute late. That's petty, man. However, Starbucks insisted Rizzo missed more than 4 hours of work on those occasions. She received multiple write-ups for the charges. In a statement to CNCB, the spokesperson, Rachel Wall, said the company only terminates employees for clear policy violations, explaining that Rizzo had repeatedly violated attendance policies, a behavior that repeatedly negatively impacted other baristas working at the store. Man, I cannot do this justice. This picture of this Starbucks Workers United. It's like this circle with like this hand holding what looks almost like a football, but it's like this rainbow coalition kind of like halo around the thing. We appreciate the Genesee store street partners provided the Starbucks experience to each other and to us this morning, and the area stores continue to serve companies without interruption this weekend, she said. The fire comes after Howard Schultz appeared before Congress to give testimony about his alleged union busting, where he's accused by Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders, independents of Vermont, of running one of the most aggressive and illegal union busting campaigns in the modern history of our country. Schultz denied the allegations to maintain he never broke any federal labor laws. No, but he skirted him really, really blanking close. Rizzo said she's still in shock about a dismissal and believes that it was retaliation for the hard time given to Schultz for being on Capitol Hill. I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 days after Howard Schultz had his union bruised that way, he started lashing out at Buffalo, Rizzo said. We're going to keep fighting and make things right, but I'm going to fight to get my job back and get reinstated. Meanwhile, Good carries on for the fight of greater justice, to leave greater equality, greater divisions like this. I see this as just one big case of just they're all just looking at each other and just it's like and just just more of the and just and and until such time that you're just looking at this thing going, just go away. Jesus. I think pretty much you forming a union in a leftist place and getting hosed by it is just
But I pooped from there.
Oh no, you got
But I pooped from there.
you got just treatment by another leftist treating you the way that a socialist would treat somebody in a socialist country. You would get slapped down unceremoniously. I don't know. Would it be more like this? Yeah, Patriot Fever and I joked about that one. It was the sound effects for the cat in the National Lampoon, Christmas thing where the cat is chewing on the cat was chewing on the wire and got lit up. Oh, I think she got her just desserts on that one. Patriot Fever. Meh. Starbucks coffee is like aged goat whiz anyway. I just consider it like completely over roasted stuff, man. It's the only thing I really go there is I like the matcha frappuccino. So the green tea frappuccinos, but I always ask for more green tea. And green tea is not cheap stuff. So adding extra green tea to something like that, you're kind of getting your money's worth on that one. I think I'm gonna probably close with Well, supposedly a Washington Post fact checker got fact. He got fact. Oh man, did he get fact? Far left Washington Post. Hang on a second. I got to pop up. I got to kill. Far left Washington Post editor Glenn Kessler tried his best to defend Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg against claims he was backed by Soros, but he got utterly embarrassed in the process. Kessler published a piece called "The Incendiary Claim That George Soros Funds Alvin Bragg," but his story had some major holes in it. His fact check claimed there was no links between Soros and Bragg, but the Twitter community notes records features set the record straight. Soros donated $1 million to the Color of Change PAC, the largest individual donation received in 2022, days after it endorsed Bragg, but the district attorney pledged more than $1 million to support his candidacy. Gave $1 million, pledged $1 million. I think you could call that pretty much, yeah, George Soros banked him. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly there's now a news story out there that Budweiser is now going woke, and they have Bud cans. They have Bud cans with rainbows. Celebrate everyone's identity. I got a new one for Budweiser, and this is very, very simple. There is a new Budweiser jingle.
When you said Bud Walker, you said it all.
Bud Woker. Bud Woker Dick Beer. Smooth, clinging texture. Creamy head. Long-lasting, distinct aftertaste that tastes like your favorite fluid from your favorite source.
When you said Bud Walker, you said it all.
The San Francisco treat. I don't know. If I'm going to drink beer, I'm not going to drink. No, I'm not drinking.
When you said Bud Walker, you said it all.
Okay, I got a couple little factoids for you guys. 40% of the United States rice production goes to the production of Budweiser beer. So much for Beechwood aged. Yeah, it's basically a thing. I think right now it's dick beer. It's dick beer. Oh, I ain't drinking that crap. I'm not drinking that crap at all. Oh, no. And, I didn't like Budweiser anyway. Stuff just gives me a headache. So I really, truly don't drink Budweiser. It's just, it always just gives me a headache. That's about the only way to say what it does, but I drink Budweiser and I get a headache. So I don't drink Budweiser. If I'm going to drink a beer based on rice, I'm going to go Japanese. I'm going to drink Kirin Ichiban, or I'm going to drink Asahi. Both of those, well, they rock in my book. All right, so coming up on a 1 hour time period. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know you got many other things to do on a Tuesday, but you guys decided to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attention. You guys get a gold star for attention and attendance. Yes. So I appreciate your kind attention, you guys, and hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys next week. Kitty in the background. 2 kitties in the background. Hopefully I'm not going to scrap. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming by. I'll go stuff like that there. I will see you guys next week unless I decide to do something else in between. But I will see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys next week. So eat good, keep it tendering. As always, eat good, keep it tendering. Always, you know it. You love it. Don't drink Budweiser. Yuck. See you guys later. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys then. Patriot Fever, if you crank that kid out beforehand, good luck to you and the missus. See you guys later. Have a good one, and I'll see you then. See you guys. Riters!